Hey everyone, here we go, making our way through April. Christ is risen. Ooh, remember our response? You probably weren't ready. I know some of you are sitting at home on the couch, kind of relaxing. Maybe you're in a classroom, kind of hunched over, I'm not sure. So we're going to do our Easter call and response from last week. Remember it? I know I'll just remind you in case, because I know I've forgotten plenty of things in the last week too. So I do the call, Christ is risen, and right away you sing, He is risen indeed. Now I'm singing it up in your octave. I can also sing it lower, right? He is risen indeed. Either way, whatever's most comfortable for your voice. So, all right, let's try it 3 times in a row. Are you ready? He is risen indeed are your words. Okay, here we go. 3 times in a row for the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, or just because 3 sounds good. Get ready. Here I go. Christ is risen. Again. Christ is risen. One more time. Christ is risen. All right, well, I messed up a little on the piano part, but that's okay. I was paying attention to you guys. All right, now I'm going to try an experiment. Now, in a normal year, you'd be in the same room with me, and I would have maybe this side over here would start with a call, and then you guys would do the response, and then we would switch flip-flop. This time, you are all going to do the call, and I'll do the response. Imagine that. So you have to be ready. I will tell you when to come in. Let's just try it one time. I'll count you in like this. This is your starting note for Christ. Ready? 1, 2, here you go. He is risen indeed. Did you get it? All right, now we're going to do it 3 times in a row. Okay, so you're leading me. Kind of funny, even though I can't see you. All right, let's try it. 1, 2, here you go. He is risen indeed. Again. He is risen indeed. One more time. He is risen indeed. Yes, he is risen indeed. All right, now we're going to move on to our review of the lines and spaces for the music staff. Remember, 5 lines, 4 spaces. We'll even maybe have a little bit of early rap history in there. I know, shocking coming from me, but we're going to do it. So here we have the staff, 5 lines, 4 spaces, and like I told you last time, if you imagine you had pens or pencils at the end of your fingers, the staff is based on the typical human hand, and you just go like this, and you get 5 lines, 4 spaces. You could try it at home, or even in the beach, in the sand. If you like, you can make your own staff. But right now, I have no idea what these lines and spaces are. I don't know if this one is a D, or a B, or an A, or I don't have anything that gives me a clue telling me. So we need what's called the clef. The clef, C-L-E-F, if you say that word in French, clé, la clé it's another word for the key. Right, here's my key. The clef or key unlocks the secrets to the staff, and then you know exactly where you are. So if I see this, right away I know, oh my goodness, I know that's a D, I know that space is an A, I know that's an E, I know them all just because I see the treble clef is telling me what the notes are. All right, now there's some secrets about the treble clef you may not know about. So one is that some people call this the G clef, because if you look carefully, you can see how this is kind of curling around. You see how it kind of like it makes a crosshair, kind of like a sniper scope or a bullseye. Right there, that line is the G line. So any note on that line is a G. And actually, if I simplify this fancy curlicue, I can replace it with something that looks a little bit like this. To be simple, it looks kind of like the letter G, a little, right? So that's another way to remember that is the G clef, showing you where G is. All right. So now there's another secret about the treble clef. I'm going to show you how to draw one. All right. So the first step is you can go top to bottom or bottom to top, doesn't matter. Just make a big J, right? It's like a candy cane or shepherd's hook upside down. And then I'm going to show you another secret. If I go like this, ooh. Do you see how that kind of makes the letter D at the very top. And guess where I'm crossing that treble clef? Right there, that line that I'm going to cross, that is the D line, right? So that's another secret about the treble clef. It's showing you this line is G, and a very secret way, this is a D. All right, the rest of the clef goes like this. You just continue that curlicue around, and you're just curling around. And as long as you have something showing you that G, you can go here or stop there. All right, I'm going to make a few more. I like to do it all in one motion. So I start here and go up. It doesn't matter whether you start here and make the J or... All right, so here's how I do it. I go like this. Here's that secret D. And curling around the G. And then here's a couple more. Then after practice, you can get a little faster at it. It gets messier though. So, and I didn't quite hit that D line, but that's all right. Now, if you don't have any lined music paper, that's okay. Watch this. You can do it on a regular, I'm going to make my own staff. It's going to be messy, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Okay. Here's my treble clef. All right. Well, I could have done a little bit better job, but you get the idea. So, all right. Now we're going to go over the rap. Now it's time for our rap, remembering the lines and the spaces of the treble clef. Remember, it's treble clef, not bass clef. That's a whole other thing. We'll do that maybe later this year. All right. So all you have to do is repeat after me. I said E, G, a B, D, F. These are the lines of the treble clef. Every good bird does fly. Those are the lines from low to high. Ooh, that's easy. Let's do that again. Ready? I said E, G, a B, D, F. Those are the lines of the treble clef. I said every good bird does fly. Those are the lines from low to high. That's the lines, right? The spaces, well, the rap is a lot shorter, right? The spaces spell face. I said the spaces spell face. One more time, the spaces spell face. Yeah, and if you know how to spell face, you're in good shape for music. All right, now one more little detail. If you were eagle-eyed, you may have noticed, or not, that I usually say stems up on the right, out of sight. Right up on the right, out of sight. Ooh, that stem is down on the left. And so is that one, and so is that one. What's going on here? Well, there's nothing wrong with these, and if you had written these up on the right, I wouldn't be mad at you at all. There's kind of an unwritten rule to make music look a little bit neater on the page, is that if you have a note that's on a line, if it's the bottom 2 lines, the stem goes up, which is on the right. If it's on the middle line or higher, the stem usually goes down. Now there's exceptions to that, so again, if you didn't follow this rule, I won't be upset at all. But it's just to make it look visually a little bit neater. So same thing with the spaces, right? Bottom 2 spaces, stems go up on the right. Top 2 spaces have the stems going down on the left, just in case you were wondering about that. So, all right, now what about the musical alphabet? Do you see it? Well, let's see. We've got A, B, C, D, E is here and here, F, and then there's a G here. Wait a minute. I thought I said all those notes were in a row, right? Well, they are. Let me show you a way that's easier to see that. So there's our staff with the treble clef. I drew in the note names myself, so we're not worrying about whether the stems are going up or down. We just have the note heads. So let's see. Do you see the alphabet? Oh, there it is, right? A, B, C, D, E, F. Well, there would be a G eventually. We'll get to that in just a little bit. So, but before we do that, remember how after G you go back to F, E, and then D, C, B, A. Anyway, remember the lines are E, G, B, D, F, right? So that's still true. If you're skipping, you'll get the lines, and the spaces still spell face, right? F, A, C, E. There it is. So, all right. So let me just play all these notes in a row on the piano so you can hear that, starting with low E. And And of course, we can go higher than that. After F, which is covering a line, we would have the next space up, which would be a G. And you can just keep on going up and up. Ooh, now I've run out of lines on the staff. To do the next line up, I have to draw one in. Now it's called a ledger line. Don't worry about that for now, right now, but just know that you can go up or down past the staff. All right, so here's the A. Let's see, that's A. I'll keep going up a few more. B. Maybe one more. High C. There it is, 2 lines. All right, now let's go down this way. Let's get a D, which would be here, and then the next line in here, well, that's what we call, trying to fit it all in there. Oh dear. All right, that's the one we call middle C. Don't worry about that for right now, but now we have a big scale, 2 octaves, mostly on the staff, but some of it's going up above it. Sounds like this. Here's the low C. Up to high C, high, or that's middle C, high C. I can't sing that C, but it's very high. All right. Now I want to talk some more about rhythm, and more specifically eighth notes and different ways of grouping them together. So, well, right now what we have is, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eighth notes just sitting there separately on the page, right? If I was going to clap it, it would sound like this. Ba, 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 right? Or T, 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 T. I'm not accenting any one in particular, I'm just playing them all evenly. So now last month, if you can remember back to our March Madness, one of the themes was dances in 3. So we had 3 big beats, right? Like the minuet would have been like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2. Or the waltz, which is a little faster, but still a 1, 2, and 3, and 1. And the mazurka and the polonaise, they were all dances in 3, and each big beat was divided into 2 little beats. And we wrote it something like this. So we have, now you don't have to be a math genius to know that if you have the number 6 can be divided into 2 and 3, as well as 1 and 6, but we're talking about 2 and 3. So last month we had 3 big beats, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and, or T, 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 T. And if I was counting to the number of 6, it would be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm emphasizing the odd numbers because that's the start of each little grouping, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2 and 3 and T, 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 T. Does that make sense? I think so. 3 big beats, each big beat divided into 2 little beats. So now what we're going to do today is the opposite. We're going to have 2 big beats. Each big beat is divided into 3 little beats. So, and it looks like this. Now, if I don't accent anything, it still sounds the same, right? Ba, 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 ba. But if I accent ba, 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 ba. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or I can count it 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. There's 2 big beats, but each big beat is like dum bum 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 bum. 3 little beats. So 3 times 2. All right. In fact, just for fun, I'm going to go back and forth between these 2 a couple times just to make my point. So ready? Here I don't know, count myself in. 1 and 2 and 3 and bum 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 bum. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 2 and 1 and 2 and. All right, I think that's pretty clear, but that's how you can divide 6 into 2 and 3 musically. So we're talking about something called 6/8 today, and we're going to clap a bunch of rhythms in 6/8. All right, I'm going to keep things kind of simple. All you have to remember is the numbers 1, 2, or 3. Pretty easy. So if you see the dotted quarter note, you have to think 3, because each of these is worth 3 eighth notes, right? So it would be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? That's the first 4 right here. And each of these eighth notes is just like a little 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Right? Sometimes the eighth notes are attached in groups of 3. Sometimes they're on their own, in which case each one of those is worth 1. So let's try the top line all together one time through nonstop. Ready? 1, 2, 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And if you want to count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that's okay too. You just have to clap on each little number that you're saying. So, all right. Now, for the quarter note, you just have to think 2 in your brain, right? 1, 2, right? There's 2 little eighth notes for each quarter note. So this measure will be like 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Right? Or you can say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Either way, it's the same rhythm. Let's try clapping the first 2 measures of this line. Ready? 1, 2, 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now watch out here. Now we've switched it where the short note goes first. So it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or you could count it 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. There's different ways to count it, but what you're clapping is the same no matter what. Let's just try this whole line 2 non-stop. Ready? I'll count you in. I'll go a little slower. So 1, 2, 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and it doesn't matter whether you count to 6 or you count to 3 twice, as long as you're counting something. Let's do this line one more time. All right, because it's kind of tricky where it switches in the middle there. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, now we're going to try mixing it up. You've got all 3 notes. You've got the 1, 2, or the short one, 1. You've got 1, 2, 3, so look out. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. Good, let's try it again, that line, and I might count a slightly different way, we'll see. But the clapping is the same. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you messed up, don't worry, because in music, if you mess up, nothing bad happens. If it's brain surgery and you mess up, that's a problem. So, all right, let's try this line all together. Ready? Now, look at it. It's nice to look ahead to see, oh, there's a pattern. The same thing happens twice. Does it come back at the end? Oh, not really. Well, sometimes that does happen. So it's just good to scan ahead to look for patterns in music because they show up all the time. Ready? Last line, here we are. 1, 2, 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one more time for good luck. 1, 2, 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it's time to look at a piece of music that uses these rhythms. So here's our song, Across the Lands. Now we've done it many, many times in church and chapel over the years, but this past year I don't think we've done it at all. Now a lot of things have been different this year, so I'm going to just play it for you to get it in your ear. I'll play it a few times just to get it back. It's pretty easy to learn if you don't know it. So, all right, here's the refrain from Across the Lands. All right, here I go. Just that much, right? Now, if this is new to you, you might want to listen again. If you know this song and you want to try clapping that rhythm, go for it. So, but how do you know when to come in? I'm going to count you in. Remember, we're counting to 6 all together, and you're coming in on 5, 6, 1, 2. So to get you in on 5, 6, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got it? That's what you hear me scream. I'm going to go a little slower than that. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. All right, but I'm going to go back to the piano. So here we go. Good luck. Clap along or follow along. Either way. All right. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. It's kind of getting in your ear even if you never heard it before. That's the cool thing about this tune. It's kind of easy to learn. All right. This time we're going to all try clapping that rhythm. And I'm going to kind of count you in and sing along. So, all right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. And I forgot to explain, in case you weren't sure, what this little squiggly thing is. It's actually an eighth note rest. So remember, if our eighth notes are going this speed, bum 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 bum. It's like it's resting for just that much. It's just a bum 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 bum. It's like a bum bum, right? So anyway, don't worry about that too much. One more time, I'm going to play through it, and then we're going to write a rhythm that kind of serves as glue for the whole piece, keeping it together. All right, ready? Clap along if you want. Here we go with the piano. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So we're going to write the main rhythm of that song, Across the Lands. All right, it starts on 5/6, remember? So I'm going to go like this, eighth, eighth, and then I'm putting a bar line, because we know that's 5/6, and then there's a big 1 on the next beat. So, all right. Then the next measure goes like this, quarter note, then eighth note, right? Quarter note, eighth note, and because that's 6 beats, we're putting a bar line so we know each measure, except for the first one, has 6 beats in it, because it's 6/8 time. All right, here we go. Next measure. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, the very next thing we're going to do is write an eighth rest, which I don't think we've done before, but it's not hard. So, all right, you make kind of a little dot here. It's kind of like making a 7. It's kind of like a 7 with a little dot in front of it. So that's the eighth rest, and then 2 more eighth notes, eighth, eighth. And I'll put a bar line because that's 6 beats there. So, all right, that's the first bit. We're going to do another line too, but just to make sure it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, rest. 5, 6. That's the tune we were just singing, right? All right, here's the rest of it. It's not too much more. This is actually the same as what you just have right above you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I should put a bar line on each side, and then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, actually, I want to put a rest in front of this one too, just to be consistent. I'm going to put an eighth rest. All right. That way, so it's kind of like breathe. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm going to play the whole thing and see if it matches the melody that we just had. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. 2, 3. And that's all we're doing for this rhythm for today. All right, now this rhythm is kind of like the glue for the whole piece. Because if you know the rest of it, which of course we haven't done in a few years, and I need the words because I have forgotten some of them, but they're in our chapel book, I'm just going to sing some of it, and you'll hear that the verses have this rhythm over and over and over. So by the time you get to the refrain, you've heard it so many times, it's pretty easy to learn. Ready? It goes like this. 2, 3. You're the Word of God the Father, from before the world began. Whoops, I can't read. Sorry, I should know the word. Yeah, star. Every star and every planet has been fashioned by your hand. So the verses are all this rhythm over and over and over and over. And you could clap it or sing it. It's the same thing. But then by the time you get to the refrain, here it is. I'm going to play it one more time, and you can clap along if you want. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. And then the rest of it, da, 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 bum, bum. It's a little different for The Cry of Love Rings Out. So anyway, that's our song of the day in 6/8. Now, I did say we were going to do some more rap, right? Oh, I haven't forgotten. It's coming right up. So now we're bringing back our treble clef rap, but we're really going to make it a rap because we're going to have a beat behind it. So all you have to do is repeat after me just like before. Ready? Here we go. I said E, G, B, D, F. These are the lines of the treble clef. I said every good bird does fly. These are the lines from low to high. The F, A, the C, and the E. The spaces spell face. Can't you see? Again, F, A, the C, and the E. The spaces spell face. Way to be. Alright, so I don't know if you ever heard this before. If so, congratulations. If not, we're going to talk about it. But this little groove, I can't stop playing it, became the basis, get it, bass line, for one of the first, not the first rap song ever, but I don't know when that was, but one of the first successful commercial rap song that grew like crazy and people bought copies and the whole idea of rap spread all over. So that was this song. It was from 1979, a long time ago, called The Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang from the New York City area. So now, I am no expert in rap and hip-hop, shocking as it may be. Yes, I'm not an expert, but I've heard a little bit here and there, and I kind of grew up as it sort of took place, even though I didn't listen to it a whole lot growing up. But anyway, I'm kind of learning more about it now. So I do know that rap generally refers to the music. Hip-hop is more about the culture overall, which includes the music. It also includes art like graffiti art and dance forms like breakdancing. Now, I'm not going to show you breakdancing because if I did, I might break something and there won't be a whole lot of dancing. But breakdancing was part of it. The whole hip-hop culture and rap revolution pretty much started right off with that song, The Rapper's Delight, of all things. Now, one thing to note about rap and hip-hop, again, I'm not an expert, but I'm just giving you a general overall view, is that a lot of rap artists take a beat or background groove by some other artist that they really like. They're like, you know what? Oh, I could make up something to that. So this whole bassline groove came out just the same year, the year before. There was a band called Chic that had a song called Good Times, and that's where this came from, right? It sounded like this. Good times, these are the good times. Oh yeah. Actually, why am I singing and playing it? Why don't we listen to a little bit of the band Chic doing their song, Good Times.
Please welcome Chic singing Good Times.
That's coming to us from the very groovy late 70s, or maybe it was Far Out, Dynamite, I'm not sure. But in any case, they had those big wide collars, bell bottoms, and I think I wore a few back in the day too, because I was around back then. So, alright, but I want to make sure we have time to go on to our rap group, the Sugar Hill Gang, which is just a year or two later, probably around 1980 was when this song took off. So here it is, part of the Rapper's Delight, the Sugar Hill Gang.
I said a hip hop, the hip it, to the hip hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat, and me, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet. You see, I am Wonder Mike, and I like to say hello. Up to the black, to the white, the red, and the brown, the purple, and yellow. But first, I gotta bang bang the boogie to the boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the bang bang boogie. Let's rock. You don't stop, rock the rhythm that'll make your body rock. Well, so far you've heard my voice, but I brought two friends along. And next on the mic is my man Hank. Come on, Hank, sing that song.
So again, I had to cut that short because, well, the original song goes on a lot longer. And in fact, there's one version of the Rapper's Delight that goes on for like 15 minutes. Because with a groove like that, like if the three guys just take turn rapping and making up stuff, I mean, I could almost go. It's like, keep on going, go all night. I can say whatever I want. Anywhere, any state, even in Vermont. I don't know, I mean, kind of just keep on going. So anyway, well, clearly my rap career is not taking off just yet. But I thought we'd try one more kind of fun experiment. Now, that's called sampling, when you take a bass line or a groove that someone else has made up and you put your own stuff on top of it. So I thought, since this is Bethany Lutheran Church, let's try some Lutheran sampling. All right, well, what could be more Lutheran than... Remember that? A Mighty Fortress from way back in October. I know it feels like it was 5 years ago, but anyway, hope you haven't forgotten it. All right, so I'm going to take that for our sampling little groove. It's pretty easy. So we're going to put a little kind of something funky maybe in between and underneath it. Let's see, something like something like that maybe. There it is, our Lutheran hip-hop. We need some words, right? Grace alone, faith alone, scripture alone. Well, to quote Martin Luther, I don't know, here I stand or something. Well, anyway, clearly that song has a lot of work to do before it becomes a hit, and nowhere near the Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight, but it's a start. All right, so anyway, well, I had fun. We did a little bit diving into the early rap history, and that just about wraps it up for today. So I had fun. I hope you had fun, and I will see you all next week.